Hmm. Oh goodness, another event. My hair is perfect, the dress is beautiful, and they all flock to me tonight. This is what I live for, isn't it? The flashbulbs, the envious glances. It's proof that I'm not just Astrid Swart from the miserable little farm outside Pretoria. I'm important. But when I was talking to Cherise tonight, I caught a glimpse of my own reflection in the champagne bucket, and for a split second I saw more, not her face, but her despair. It was like a little grey smudge behind my eyes. I spent all night laughing loudest, drinking fastest, trying to outrun that glimpse I caught from my mother. I feel conflicted between the dazzling image I project and the fear that the real me is just that sad, hello girl on the farm. If I stop moving, if I stop proving my worth with diamonds and dinners, what will be left? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I went to Father Michael again. I told him about the affair. Not all of it, just the bare minimum. He went on and on about penance and shame, and all I could think was, does he know who I am? Does he know who my husband is? I wanted forgiveness, yes, but more than that, I wanted the comfort of ritual, the assurance that I could sin, whisper, and be clean. But when I left, the guilt was still there, sitting like a small hard stone in my chest. I don't regret doing it. I only regret the risk to my position. I have conflict between my intense need for forgiveness and my complete unwillingness to change my behavior. I want all the glamour and none of the moral price. And standing there, I realize that even God is just another person that I'm trying to manipulate. Anton is making noise again. The little nursemaid, Alma, has been stirring him up about the house. He actually said, Astrid, if we give it to Salome, it might finally feel like we've done something good. Good? Goodness, what a ridiculous word. Why should we pay for Ma's sentimental deathbed impulses? The money from the piece of land could stabilize our portfolio. It could secure the twins' education. The reality is, we need to survive by keeping our assets. Why am I worrying about the moral act of giving away the house? I know Alma thinks I'm unrighteous. Maybe I am, but I built this life, this fortress, brick by miserable brick. I won't tear it down for a promise made decades ago to a person who is, frankly, invisible to everyone but Alma. Every refusal is a choice for my children's safety over Salome's dignity. And I choose the children. I have to. The twins are growing up so fast. They look at me with such simple, uncomplicated trust. They think I'm the most beautiful woman in the world, the one who fixes everything. It's a terror, that trust. I try to make sure their lives are perfect. No mess, no chaos, only the best school, the right friends. I'm trying to protect them against the dirtiness of the farm, against the failure that consumed Anton, against the strange moral intensity that took Armor away. But sometimes when I yell at them for something small, or when I see their father's irritation mirrored in their little faces, I realize I'm turning into my parents. I have the desire to be a perfect protective mother, but I have the creeping fear that I'm poisoning them the same shallow coldness that ruined the Swart family. I am terrified they will see through my facade and inherit my emptiness. I saw my first husband today. It was brief. He looked happy, really, truly happy. He asked if I was happy, and I laughed. The big, bright, empty laugh I perfected over 20 years. The whole of my adult life has been a brilliant performance. I excelled at being a wife, a hostess, a woman of means. But the performance is all there. There is no stage manager, no scriptwriter, and certainly no ending where the lead character finds peace. I look at my reflection, now tired, eyeliner smudged, and I realize I'm surrounded by magnificent things, but I feel like a magnificent fake. I sacrificed my authentic self for status, and now I can't tell which part is the lie or which part is the truth. I am trapped in the gilded cage I built myself. It's too late to be Alma. It's too late to be Ma. I can only be Astrid, the magnificent and miserable swart who has everything and possesses nothing.